Let's pay homage to the Blessed One, Supremely Enlightened Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's pay homage to our teacher, Rupa Swami, and say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, today we are going to learn this beautiful sutta from the numerical discourses of the Buddha. The war between the gods and the demons. So I think I remember in one of our previous classes, Kalyanamita asked about the war in heaven, and we always learn that demons are defeated, right? The gods win. I think somebody asked what happens when gods are defeated, right? So that was also a question sometimes people ask. So we can find answers from this sutta, from this discourse, because in this discourse, at some points, gods are defeated and the asuras win. But Buddha taught this sutta to teach us about a very important thing, about a very powerful Dhamma. So we can learn that when we go along with this sutta. Who is going to read? Does anybody like to read?
I can read Bhante.
Okay.
Once upon a time, Medicus, battle was fought between the gods and the demons. In that battle, the demons won and the gods lost. Defeated, the gods fled north, the demons in pursuit. Then the gods thought, the demons are still in pursuit. Why don't we engage them in battle second? And so a second battle was fought between the gods and the demons. For a second time, the demons won and the gods lost. Defeated, the gods fled north, the demons in pursuit. Then the gods thought, demons are still in pursuit. Why don't we engage them in battle a third time? And so a third battle was fought between the gods and the demons. For a third time, the demons won and the gods lost. Defeated and terrified, the gods fled right into the castle.
Okay. So we rejoice in your reading. So this is a battle between the gods and the demons or asuras. So you may be wondering whether there is a world, exists a world without battles. Huh? What is the world free of battles? How about animal world? Huh? There are battles always, right? And Buddha teaches the great pain, suffering in the animal world is that the weaker one is attacked by the stronger one. So the weaker one always have this immense fear, right? So we see that always killing, fighting in the animal world. And how about hell world? How about ghost world? You can read about their like how some ghosts are chasing after other ghosts, right? Injuring them, right? When you read stories of ghosts, how about human world?
Very much.
You study the history humans' history, lots of battles. Huh? And when one time the Buddha was questioned about like the population, the decrease of population. So one Brahmin went up to the Buddha and asked, "Oh, Blessed One, I have heard from my preceptors, my teachers, that long time ago this human world was like full of people, but I see now a big like reduction of the population, and what is the reason for that?" And then Buddha answered, it is in the Anguttara Nikaya, book of the Threes. Buddha answered the main, well, there are three main reasons for the why so many humans died in the past. One reason is the wars in the battlefield, killing each other. Millions and millions of people died. Still happening, right? And the second reason is, Buddha explains, when unwholesome qualities increase among people, the environment will change. The crops will not get rain at the right time. So people basically will die. Lots of people will die due to malnutrition. Millions of people, because of not having enough food to eat. It's still happening, right? It happened in the past too. What is the third reason? Third reason, Buddha explains, many humans die due to the non-human attacks. That's an interesting, scary thing as well. Ordinary science cannot understand about it. With Buddha's extraordinary knowledge, Buddha revealed it. Like when some deaths happen, we might like conclude them giving, okay, this person died because of this, because of that, because of a heart attack or whatever. But we don't know the real reason behind his death, his or her death. Maybe a non-human attack. So those are the main three reasons why so many humans passed away in the past, and same thing is applied to the present and also applied to the future. Yes, so human world is full of battles. That's why now you understand why Buddha encouraged people to stop this cycle and attain Nibbana as soon as possible. And you see the pain and suffering we have to undergo when we continue this journey. You see, like so many reasons that somebody has to go through this unimaginable pain in life, separation from loved ones, and so sickness, accidents, battles, killing, all this suffering, mental suffering, physical suffering. And this is an endless journey. How about the fighting in heaven? We are just learning about it in this sutta. So there is fighting. The only place without battles, a world, if you need a world, is the Brahma world. In the Brahma world, there are no sense pleasures. So behind these battles, almost like you can say, like, for the most part, the reason for the battles, the reason behind the battles is sensual pleasure, like sense pleasures. Craving for money, craving for lands, craving for properties, craving for countries, craving for power. These are the sense pleasures, right? If there are sense pleasures in any realm, then there are fights. In the Brahma world, there are no pursuit of sense pleasures. That's the only world without battles. But unfortunately, that world is also impermanent. It's not a permanent place. When we say Brahma world, there are so many Brahma worlds. You can learn about those Brahma worlds in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Because those Brahmas came to listen to the very first discourse of the Buddha, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. So in that Sutta, Buddha explains Brahmas from these different Brahma worlds came to listen to this discourse and attain different stages of enlightenment. So there are many, many Brahma worlds. So that is the world. But Nibbana is the only solution. Buddha didn't even praise the Buddha didn't praise any rebirths whatsoever. Not even the rebirth in Brahma. Buddha only praised attaining Nibbana. There was one monk when the Buddha was alive, and he was in the beginning, Buddha noticed that this monk practicing the Dhamma diligently, meditating all the time. And on a later occasion, Buddha noticed that he was kind of negligent, like not thinking about meditation seriously anymore, and like a kind of a relaxed practice. And Buddha asked him, before you worked so hard, you were meditating all the time, and not anymore. Why? What is the reason? And then the monk replied, oh Bhante, I am a non-returner now. I am a non-returner, Anagami. I have attained the third stage of enlightenment. So I only have one more life. So my idea is to go to the Brahma world after death. And I will attain the last stage of enlightenment and attain Nibbana there. So anyway, I am going to go to the Brahma world. So and then Buddha advised him, don't think like that, monk. So you think that you only have one more life left. So you want to go to the Brahma world and attain Nibbana there? And Buddha asked, when there is some filth, even though there is much or little, is there a difference of the smell, bad smell? No. It always is bad smell in a filthy thing, right? No matter the amount. In the same way, I say to you, monks, I don't praise even a single birth, even for a time of a finger snap. I don't praise. That's the realization of the Buddha. Because Buddha saw the suffering bound with even a single birth. Jatipi dukkha, right? Every birth leads to aging, sickness, mental suffering, physical suffering. What kind of an understanding the Buddha had? So then Buddha asked, no, monk, your thinking is wrong. you should try to end this cycle as soon as possible. That was the advice of the Buddha. So that monk later started practicing the path again and attained enlightenment in this very life and didn't go to another life. Right? So those are very powerful lessons from the Buddha. Harry, what is your question?
Bante, Brahma world, there are many layers, one higher than the other. Although Bante said there's no sense pleasure over there. However, don't they get jealous? Is there no jealousy, enviness in there?
Of course, there are defilements in the Brahmas as well. Like any being, if they have not fully followed the Noble Eightfold Path and abandoned the fetters, of course, they have defilements, but most of the defilements are suppressed by the attainments of the jhanas, different concentration levels. The Brahmas, they are born there because of their jhana practices when they were in the human world, and they continue their jhana practices in the Brahma world. And lots of defilements, those layers, those fetters are kind of suppressed. They are hidden. And when some of the Brahma's lifespan is over, they will be reborn in lower realms, like as humans again, or as heavenly beings, or even in miserable places, if they have not followed the Noble Eightfold Path. And all those defilements will come to the surface again, and they become like ordinary beings, wandering and journeying through this cycle of rebirth. Only those Brahmas who were born in the Brahma world by practicing the Noble Eightfold Path and attaining the Samma Samadhi, and some Brahmas attaining some stages of enlightenment, they are safe. They will not fall down. They will not be reborn in lower realms. They will just attain the final stage of enlightenment in the Brahma world, and that will be their final life.
Bante, that's why there's still the 5 higher fetters, right, in the world. So they still have the conceit,
right,
the restlessness, and the ignorance.
Yeah, Uddambhagya Sangyojana. They have the Uddambhagya Sangyojana. They have only abandoned the Aurambhagya Sangyojana, the 5 lower fetters.
The first
they have
law,
abandoned
the 5
5
lower.
lower fetters,
Okay.
right?
Thank you, Bante. Yeah,
Very good.
You're
Very
right.
good.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was the battle in the heavenly world. So we learned about the worlds with battles, and we learned the world without battles, right? But still, the perfect answer is that the place that is free from battles and wars and all these problems is the Nibbana. Okay, so who is going to read next?
When they had entered their castle, they thought, now we're in a secure location and the demons can't do anything to us. The demons also thought, now the gods are in a secure location and we can't do anything to them. Once upon a time, a battle was fought between the gods and the demons. In that battle, the gods won and the demons lost. Defeated, the demons fled south with the gods in pursuit. Then the demons thought, the gods are still in pursuit. Why don't we engage them in battle a second time? And so a second battle was fought between the gods and the demons. And for a second time, the gods won and the demons lost. Defeated, the demons fled south and the gods in pursuit, with the gods in pursuit. Then the demons thought, the gods are still in pursuit. Why don't we engage them in a battle a third time? And so a third battle was fought between the gods and the demons. And for a third time, the gods won and the demons lost. Defeated and terrified, the demons fled right into the citadel of the demons. When they had entered the citadel, they thought, now we're in a secure location and the gods can't do anything to us. And the gods also thought, now the demons are in a secure location and we can't do anything to them. In the same way, a mendicant, quite secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unskillful qualities, enters and remains in the first absorption, which has the rapture and bliss born of seclusion, while placing the mind and keeping it connected. At such a time, the mendicant thinks, now I'm in a secure location, and Mara can't do anything to me. And Mara, the wicked one, also thinks, now that
Yes, the wicked also thinks now the mendicant is in a secure location and we can't do anything to them, right? So the Buddha wanted to highlight this. That's why Buddha brought up this beautiful story. This is a real story. Buddha could see this thing happening. When the gods were defeated, they found their own secure place, and they entered their citadel and thought, now we are in a secure location, right? And the demons cannot do anything to us. The demons also thought like that, now gods are in a secure location and we cannot do anything to them. And same with when the demons are defeated, they went to their secure location and they thought, okay, now we are secure, we are safe, the gods cannot do anything to us. And the gods also thought, now the demons are in a secure location and we cannot do anything to them. So what is humans' secure location? That is the question. That is the important question. And what is the insecure location for humans? Not only humans, even for devas, in terms of the deep Dhamma. In terms of the spiritual path, what is the, okay, first learn about the insecure location. Insecure, in different sutta, in the same chapter, Buddha teaches the insecure location for gods and humans is that when somebody has desire for visual objects, has longing for these visual objects, sounds, smells, tastes, and tangibles, panchakama. When somebody has craving for those things, that is the insecure location. That person is in an insecure location. The mind is in a very risky place at that time. The evil one can easily attack that person. That is the insecure location for gods and humans. Isn't that beautiful? The realization of the Buddha? Huh? So that insecure location can be anywhere, wherever we go with our mind. We think, okay, inside our house, the doors are locked, windows are locked, we feel like we are very safe. This is the secure place on earth, right? But if we live in that house with these desires and craving for these 5 sense objects, are we secure? Are we safe? No, that's not a secure place anymore. So it can be any place. But fortunately, Buddha realized there are few secure places, secure locations, and the very first one of those is not a physical location. That's very important. Like, you know, people go from one country to another thinking, oh, this country is not secure, we should go to that other country. It's a very secure country, very secure place, but still insecure. It's still in danger. It's because we always think it's a physical location, right? We think it's a insecure location is also a physical one. Secure location is also a physical one. But Buddha teaches it's not so. It's a different story. What is the first secure location? It's a mental one, not a physical one. What is the mental one? When somebody has this mental state which is secluded from sense pleasures, that means somebody, okay, at that time somebody doesn't have these desires for visual objects, sounds, smells, tastes, and tangibles. That is the meaning of the mind is secluded from sense pleasures. Also secluded from unwholesome things. No anger, no greediness, no restlessness, no remorse, no doubt, right? There are no unwholesome qualities. And this person enters and remains in the first absorption, the first jhana, which has the rapture, piti, and sukha, bliss born of seclusion. Seclusion is the abandonment of 5 hindrances. Abandonment. So the mind has, at that time, at least temporarily, mind has abandoned sense desire, anger, restlessness and remorse, sleepiness and drowsiness, and doubt. Is it very difficult to enter into that secure location? Very difficult. Easy to get a visa and to go to another country in a way when we compare with this, right? This is very difficult. So that mental state has the rapture and bliss born of seclusion while placing the mind and keeping it connected with the meditation object. Maybe the meditation object is breathing, loving kindness, recollection on the qualities of the Buddha, right? Any object, the meditation object mentioned in the Satipatthana Sutta, right? At such time, the meditator thinks, now I am in a secure location. That is the true secure location. It's not a physical. And Mara cannot do anything to me. And Mara, the wicked, also thinks, now this person, this meditator, this follower of the Buddha is in a secure location and I cannot do anything for her. Isn't that a beautiful discovery of the Buddha? That there is a secure location for this life? It is a powerful message, isn't it? Very powerful message, eye-opening message. And then Buddha teaches there is another secure location. It is also not physical, it is mental. When as the placing of the mind and keeping it connected are stilled, the mendicant enters and remains in the second absorption, which is the second jhana. And that is the second secure location. And the meditator again thinks, I am in a secure location and the Mara cannot do anything to me. Think about this power of the Mara. If the mind is if we live with any defilements, any negative qualities and unwholesome qualities, he's always behind us to attack us. So we might follow the path of unwholesomeness and arrange bad karma. It's a very subtle thing. We don't see, but we are attacked. But the secure place again is the second jhana and also the third jhana, fourth jhana, right? And a mendicant going totally beyond the perception of form with the ending of perception of impingement, not focusing on perceptions of diversity, aware that space is infinite, enters and remains in the dimension of infinite space. So that is Akasananchayatana. At such a time, they are called a mendicant who has blinded Mara. put out his eyes without a trace and gone where the wicked one cannot see. How powerful the formless jhanas are. Same with the dimension of infinite consciousness, another secure place. Is that a physical location? That's a mental attainment, right? It's a mental secure location. So Vijnana Chayatana is also, and then Akinchanyayatana, dimension of nothingness. Somebody attains this formless jhana, and also going totally beyond the dimension of nothingness. He enters and remains in the dimension of neither perception nor non-perception. Neva sanya na sanyayatana, the fourth formless jhana. They are all secure locations. And finally, going totally beyond the dimensions of neither perception nor non-perception, he enters and remains in the cessation of perception and feeling. Sanya Vedaita Nirodha Samapatti. And having seen with wisdom, his defilements come to an end. At such a time, he is called a meditator or a disciple who has blinded Mara, put out his eyes without a trace and gone where the wicked one cannot see. And they have crossed over clinging to the world. These are the secure locations. Sadhu, sadhu. Now you have a clear idea about the insecure location and the secure location. That's the importance of practicing meditation, practicing mindfulness for establishments of mindfulness, right? Chattaro Satipatthana, practicing samatha meditation, practicing vipassana meditation. How important it is. Very good. Aren't you amazed about the wisdom of the Buddha?
Yes.
So otherwise we wouldn't know, right? We don't know anything about this. And normally this mind finds delight in beautiful things, visual objects, sounds, smells, tastes, and tangibles. And we don't see any wrong with that. We think this is the life, everybody lives like that. Everybody, entertains, enjoys things, gratifies the senses, and this is the normal kind of living. So what is the wrong with it, right? We would live blindly, and we don't see in the end of the life the Mara has done whatever he wants, and he has basically cleared the path for us to fall into a plane of misery as a result of accumulation of lots of unwholesome qualities, defilements. But now we understand this life is like, we should think about it seriously. We should think about deeply. We are very fortunate because we have these teachings. At least in this life we can see the true nature of this life, and we can find the way out. We are stuck in this repeated cycle of birth and death, and we didn't know why we can't escape from this cycle. Now we know the things that fetter our life into this cycle without giving any chance to escape from it, throwing us from this world to that world, from this place to that place, is enough now. We have been experiencing this endlessly. At least now we know the things that blocked us from achieving freedom. And now we know, because of the Buddha's enlightenment, the things that we should add to our lives, the things we should follow to break this cycle. And we know about the solution. That's a very big thing. Now we don't need to live like blind anymore, right? Now is the like real light appearing into our lives. Now we are going to see the truth of this world. Without the teachings of the Buddha, even though the sun shines, even though the lights are there, even though we open our eyes, still blind in thick darkness. Now you see the world is in thick darkness, going astray without knowing any direction. Future is very dangerous. Yeah, Satipatthana is always it's about the establishing the mindfulness on an wholesome object, and it's when that establishment of mindfulness is like successful, the result is the jhanas, first jhana, second jhana, and so on. So he's basically practicing. You can see in the Noble Eightfold Path, there are three categories how these all the 8 factors are like practiced: sila, samadhi, panya. And if we think about the samadhi aggregate, there are 3 factors. You need to practice 3 path factors in order to develop the samadhi aggregate, samadhi aspect. And what are those 3? Samma vayama, samma sati, samma samadhi. These 3 path factors should be followed in order to complete the practice of samadhi. So practicing samadhi means not only practicing jhanas, it also refers to practicing these 3 things: samma vayama, samma sati, samma samadhi, practicing right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. So all the 3 are there. Now, if somebody's mind is very well established in the mindfulness, that person is also in a very safe place. That's a very, very powerful mental attainment. If the mind is established in the Satipatthana, there's no doubt of it. The Buddha has clearly mentioned about it. Good. So these 5 sense pleasures are very, very strong, aren't they? They're like floods. We are carried away by the flood of visual objects, sounds, smells, tastes, and tangibles. Need lots of mindfulness, faith in the Buddha's enlightenment, effort,